Welcome to the Caldwell Podcast. Today we have Juan Avila in his house actually, the Caldwell Event Center. Juan, welcome, and tell us really quickly who you are, what your official position is, and tell us about yourself.
Well, first of all, thank you, Brian, for coming down and visiting me here and my staff at the Caldwell Event Center. Thank you for the opportunity to talk to the Caldwell citizens and anybody watching. My title here at the Event Center is the Superintendent. I've been working at the Event Center for the last 24 plus years now. I started on maintenance back in 2000, somewhere around there, and I've been working here, enjoying Caldwell since then, pretty much.
Okay. Tell us about your background. Where'd you grow up? If you have a family.
I grew up in the LA area, Long Beach, pretty much, all over the area in LA. Married for 34 years now with the same lovely wife. And we have two children. Well, now they're men now, Juan Carlos and Armando, and they're our two sons, and I guess some more family here, sisters and a brother here in Caldwell that they're my family, and a lot of nephews and nieces. And I've been living in Caldwell since '94, since we moved up here from LA.
Okay. And the LA theme is all over your office. I see your Lakers, your Dodger gear. You rep pretty hard still for the LA teams, right?
Yeah, I do represent my teams from LA, my Lakers, and don't ever mention the Clippers on my presence, because it's not going to go well for you. But yeah, the Dodgers, and I've been a fan for forever, and that's what I bring with me, my roots, who I am, and that's kind of what. It's not very complicated. We got the best two teams in the sport, so.
Tell us, who is your all-time favorite Laker and who's your all-time favorite Dodger? And yes, you can only pick one.
Okay. Well, my favorite Laker of all time, I have to say it is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That's, the captain. I actually have the opportunity to watch him play, and something I can one day tell my grandkids if they can recognize the captain. And obviously I get to watch Michael and Jordan from Bulls and all those big names nowadays, all those legends. But my favorite has always been Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. From the Dodger side, is a guy that I always enjoy seeing play. And it was really, really good. I mean, I got a lot of them, but one that I really enjoyed watching play was, his name is Pedro Guerrero. Yeah, from the Dominican Republic. Great hitter, very humble guy, and what I was looking for, as a role model back then. And I enjoy watching him.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for letting us know who your favorites are.
Yeah.
Juan, can you just tell us a little bit of the history of the Caldwell Event Center? Maybe just tell us what the Event Center has hosted. I know also that the rodeo grounds and Simplot Stadium are part of this facility. So tell us kind of what encompasses the event center.
Yeah, so let's start with the Simplot Stadium. The event center's got three entities that we manage, and one of them is obviously the Simplot Stadium. Simplot Stadium comes obviously from, a lot of people maybe don't know, and Simplot, the name came from J.R. Simplot that donated a lot of money back in the early 60s to have the stadium built, and that's why the name came for the stadium, Simplot Stadium. And I say the stadium has been here since, as the record shows, since 1963. That's when the walls were going up, and I understand that it was up and running on late '64. Another facility that came later on the years is the Caldwell Rodeo Arena. It's also another entity that part of the event center that obviously we oversee some cases in some areas, and obviously the O'Connor Fieldhouse. A lot of people might not know what O'Connor Fieldhouse is. The name came from a gentleman named Pat O'Connor. and the name was given to the building on his honor based of his civic service to the Caldwell community, boosting money for the clubs, the kids to participate in baseball, basketball, sports activities throughout the town. And that's why the city back then or the College of Idaho also keep the opportunity for the building to have his name attached to it. And that's what O'Connor comes into the picture from the gentleman and coach, Pat O'Connor.
Was he coach at?
Well, he was coach at College of Idaho,
Okay.
and Caldwell High as well.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also a scout for the Chicago Cubs organization back in the day.
Okay.
So his name was pretty well known on the sports world, and yeah, being a local name, who can be better to give the name to the facility but Pat O'Connor?
Sure. So, what are some events that are a lot more well known that your facilities here host, and what are some more, maybe not peculiar, but maybe less known ones that you think people might enjoy?
Something, like I just mentioned the stadium, and obviously it's been 10 years since the College of Idaho started their program, the football program at the stadium, and we do not just football, we do women's and soccer, women and men's soccer programs and lacrosse now. So the stadium is pretty busy with those programs, which is great because the stadium was kind of on a verge of dying 10 years ago, and thanks to the partnership with the City of Caldwell and the College of Idaho, the stadium once again become the place to be. We are, before that, obviously we hosting Caldwell High School games, football games, that is, and it was big, and then they moved to the campus, and then the stadium was kind of, like I say, it was kind of on the debating phase of what are we going to do with it, and then this programs came into the picture, and here we go. So the football program, is the second best in the state, in my opinion. Obviously, you got Boise State to fight over that number one spot, but College of Idaho is doing a tremendous job with this, with their program, and the fan base is growing every year. If you haven't seen a game live on the stadium, I recommend it. It's exciting, it's a good football, and the people will have a lot of fun. Another event, obviously, the Caldwell Night Rodeo. Caldwell Night Rodeo has been rated top 5 largest outdoor rodeo in the nation for many years, consecutive years, and so something to be proud as Caldwell to be part of that accomplishment from the Caldwell Night Rodeo Board and the cities of Caldwell. And the city of Caldwell is over there to partner with these organizations to make sure that these events are a success. The field house, O'Connor Field House, is the 380. And that's what we're seeing on it. You can see a lot of people, you can see a display, you can see some of the history of the event center. The O'Connor Field House, we host pretty much any event. We have some of the names that I can think of, we've been hosting the Rock and Metal Show for, oh gosh, my guess is like 30 years in a row. We got a lot of annual events, that we have banquets, we have fundraisers, we have information fairs for senior citizens. Pretty much anything that we can host, we'll do, if the schedule obviously allows it. But we're busy. My staff consists of myself and 2 other guys that work with me, elbow to elbow, and they're just busy around here. And I'm proud of them, and thanks to them, I can succeed every week because it's a weekly challenge on this job.
Yeah. So day to day, month to month, the calendar event-wise kind of look for you, and what does a day to day throughout the week? I know it probably looks kind of different.
It's different. Like I say, it's a different challenge every week. Some weeks have 1 event, some weeks have 3 events, and each event will demand different things from us, and we do our very best to accommodate every single customer. And one thing we have, and one of the first items that I talk to my guys is about what's the number one thing we got to do? Okay, safety. Make sure that everybody comes to our door that feels safe, because our main goal is for them to come in, enjoy their event, and go home without an incident. And always our goal, make sure that The floors are clean, the facility is well protected against debris and whatever. So safety is the main thing. And we never treat small events any less than the big events. Everybody deserves the same respect, the same recognition, the same gratitude from us for them to be looking at us as to their events.
So I've seen and heard about different events throughout, like before and even now, from basketball games to roller derby. I don't know if you call them games, matches. I don't
Bouts.
know. Bouts.
Yeah.
That's probably a better term for it.
Yeah.
Resource fairs. I know Link puts one on. There's probably a bunch of other ones as well. But what are some of the smaller ones? I know my daughter was excited about a Harry Potter one coming up in a couple weeks, but what are some of the other ones? Oh, a dog show, I think, that you had not long ago.
Yeah, so let's talk about the dog show. The dog show is an event that when they first came to me, it's like, well, we have dog shows before. Well, this one turned out to be one of the biggest in the state. And I mean, we have people come from the entire Northwest. What I was told is that we have even dogs come from overseas, as far as England, to participate in this dog show. So it's events that sometimes they go unnoticed for a lot of people because obviously they're not into the dog world or whatever, but it's big for our city to be the host city for these events. And it is our responsibility to make sure those events will go as best way possible. You know, the Harry Potter is a new experience for us. We just don't know exactly what's in detail, but it's a lot of buzz out there, and that's what we like. We like the community to be involved. We like to bring events to our Caldwell city that people be interested on. Besides, a lot of people might not like rodeo. A lot of people might not like football, but it's other opportunities. It's other options that if we can be the ones providing those options, it is great for Caldwell.
Right. Even I saw a CrossFit one not too long ago. That was pretty neat.
It's another new one. It's a CrossFit competition. People from all over the nation came to it. They had 300 participants. I heard already they're going to increase it by another 200, so it's going to be up to 500. What they do, it is no way I can do because these guys are well trained and they do amazing things with their bodies and their workout capabilities. That once again, I didn't know that kind of market existed here in Caldwell until it's on me. And again, for me, as a superintendent of the event center, to be able to host these events, it's amazing because it brings a lot of people into our city. It brings a lot of people into our restaurants. It brings a lot of people into our hotels. And it's always, when we manage to do that, it's a great day for Caldwell.
Right. A couple of things I think is pretty neat is first, when I look at some of the concession stands here right outside the rodeo in the stadium, I see a lot of the local groups. You got the Lions Club, you got the Optimists, I think is what they're called, Sir Optimists. So I think it's really neat that, and a lot of them support the youth
Right.
Here in the local area. So I think it's really neat that they get to participate and fundraise money there for our local youth.
Yeah, so what a lot of maybe one of the things that a lot of people don't know about the Caldwell Night Rodeo, it's great for, we got the best cowboys on the nation, we got the best stock contractor on the nation, we got the best sound, we got the best everything, but the goal is still the same, is the rodeo community-minded event. So the rodeo puts back lots of money back into the community to cancer screenings, to violence awareness, to veterans programs. It's a lot of money goes back to the community. And like you mentioned, all the civic groups that they serve food. Every time somebody comes into the rodeo and buy a hot dog, a soda, a popcorn, they are helping a kid to get a uniform. They're helping a program to get a new football, new cleats, new uniform, new shirts. Whatever they're doing, thank you for doing that because it's amazing what these groups, what they do for the youth. I'm going to mention, I'll see if I can remember all of them. We got the Optimist Club, we got the Exchange Club, we got the Lions Club, we got Jobs Daughters, and we got the Rotary Club. They all serve snacks, food, and all the money goes back to the youth in our city. And that is amazing.
Yeah. It's cool to see everybody involved.
Yes.
I know that the Kiwanis, they do a chuck wagon dinner at C of I, and then during that week, there's the Buckaroo breakfast that the chamber puts on, I believe, too. So another entity that's coming under your jurisdiction is there's a new parking lot on 21st, right?
Yeah.
So there's some newer amenities coming in over there. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so, obviously, as I was mentioned, our events are keep growing and the demand goes with it, and parking is always a high demand for event centers. And the city invested, I think it's a good investment, invested on the property across the tracks. 21st for more parking. We got about 275 new parking spaces. And not only that, we got 18 new RV hookups for people traveling on RVs. We're going to have the ability to accommodate them if they're traveling on their RV units. We have new RVs, combined with the 15 existing that we have. Now we have the total of 33 hookups. The new 18 is still work in progress with power and some other things, but they'll be ready soon.
And I believe that's going to be available for almost anybody to rent.
Anybody, not just people coming to our events. If anybody's traveling through I-84 going from Portland to Salt Lake and they want to stay overnight, obviously we can accommodate it for one night. It's not, we're not parking, RV parking, we're short term, obviously because of the zoning and stuff like that, but yeah, anybody can stay for a few nights, up to 7 nights, and it's great. Parking lot, beautiful access and easy access in and out, close to the freeway, and it's RV hookups is in high demand right now. Believe it or not, it's all the parking around the area is full, and people are always looking for an option.
Gas stations right there. So
Oh yeah,
it easy. Yeah. Let's kind of transition to the Caldwell Night Rodeo for a moment. So when anybody walks into your office, they see a bunch of cowboy hats, some boots are kind of there. You used to be the president of, do you call it the board or the commission, I guess? Yeah. So can you just tell us a little bit of history on the rodeo, what you did as the president, maybe some things that people maybe the common person might not know? Yeah, so I got involved with the rodeo when I started working at the event center, volunteering on the back gate. Nobody knew that I was here because I came in. I was not involved with the crowd. I just came in and watched a gate. The rodeo was over. I get in my car and I left. Nobody knew I was here, and that's what volunteering is all about. Is if you do it because you want people to see you, and then you do it for the wrong reasons. My idea to help is because I started noticing what the rodeo was doing for our community, paying water bills for veterans, paying power bills for veterans, and I said, you know what, I want to be part of that. I want to help, and that's how I got involved. And like I said, I started, watching gates, watching, access points from doing the rodeo, and then I become an associate director, which I'm not a voting member then, but I was more involved with the logistic organizations of the rodeo. Then later on, I got voted as a director, which now I got to vote on numerous things. And on 2022, I have the honor and privilege to be the president of the board and to direct the rodeo that year. And amazing experience for me. Because as a big honor, first of all, and to be recognized by the board of directors and the citizens of Caldwell, and to be able to help with so many. I'm going to give you one example why I do it, Brian. And this is I always take this to heart because one year I received a letter, the board received a letter from a lady up north,
and she got the chance to get a mammogram exam done through the San Alfonso's mobile unit. And the mobile unit was able to go to her, or to that community where the city of Caldwell, to the Culinary Rodeo funds provided to St. Al's. Come to find out, she was diagnosed with breast cancer, early stage, thank God. And anyway, long story short, the letter stated that, thank you for saving my life. That's what volunteering is about. It's not about you as a volunteer, it's about who you're gonna be helping. And that's kind of what I do. And I'm not president anymore, but I'm still working hard and I'm still doing it until, something come up, or some new members will come on and take my spot. But yeah, it's a great organization to be part of, like many others, and it is it's very rewarding.
Okay.
That way.
A last couple of things I want to mention. Well, first of all, sometimes when I visit you here,
Yeah.
there's always something different. Right now it's really clean and empty and really nice, but it's not always like that.
No.
Sometimes I come in, you might have had a big party and people just throw beer cans and trash everywhere, and you guys have like a day or two to turn it around for a car dealership or something else. But what is something like that where you're like, hey, general public, I want you to know this about the kind of work that you do, or maybe something that could help you guys out, or some challenges maybe that you could address?
Well, and again, when we we know what our business is, it being ahead of the game. We cannot worry about today. We have to worry about what's coming up in a week or 2 weeks. Because if we don't, their events would be a failure. So when you mentioned that, how we clean the facility, how we do things, it's something that is in our blood, I think, because not everybody's willing to do that. We rely heavily, and thank you, I'd like to make a public recognition to the Kane County Sheriff's Office for their SEAL program. Sheriff Donahue and their deputies, they're amazing to helping us with providing manpower to help us out and the time we need, especially big events, the fair, the rodeo, football programs and things like that. Yeah, because it's good to have the people, but by nature, people create debris or garbage, and but that's okay. Part of the job. It's part of what we do, and as long as people go home, like I say, in one piece and happy and ready to come back, that's okay.
Now, you mentioned you've been here for 24-ish plus years. Can you just tell us, has anything changed in Caldwell?
Yes.
What have you seen? What are some things that are notable for you?
When I started, and I'm not sure of the numbers, but if I'm not wrong, back then the population in Caldwell was like under 30, and now I don't know, we're like over 80 or something like that.
Right at 70, I think.
Yeah. But anyway, so what I notice is the newer generations, and I'm talking about new generations because I'm a 54-year-old man, and the new generation are coming up, a 20-year-old young man. We are seeing what they're looking for is totally different than a 20-year-old young man was looking 20 years ago, 24 years ago, as far as entertainment. Again, the Can Fair, a great job on the concert series and their entertainment spot of things that keep all these demands up to date and entertain all these young crowds. The rodeo is, is keeping the spirit of the rodeo. Not changing much because that's what rodeo is. If you notice in our culinary rodeo, we don't have pyrotechnics or light show or anything like that because what we produce is rodeo. And that's what people like. One right after the next, no gaps, is fast. Event center, the Caldwell, the O'Connor Field House, same thing. We have very good rotation on type of events, and but people are responding well. to our format of doing business and making sure, again, making sure that it feels welcome and everybody as much fun as possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Juan, is there any last thing that you want, things that you want to plug or just bring up, or anything we haven't talked about?
No, I just want to, closing statement, I guess, is thank you for the City of Caldwell administration. Thank you for the mayor. Thank you for the citizens of Caldwell to maintaining the field house, the Caldwell Rodeo grounds, the Simplot Stadium, and in good shape, because people do behave really well when it comes. They don't destroy, they don't vandalize things, and that's always appreciated. There's some new things coming up with our front is going to be getting a facelift coming up, and so I think Caldwell's going to enjoy it. I think Caldwell's going to be proud of what the city's doing to increase the appearance of our facilities, and something to be proud of, and we entertain a lot of people on one event, whether it is the fair, whether it is the rodeo, whether it is the College of Idaho athletic program. We do, a lot of people come through our gates, and we want everybody, every single person through our gates, to have the best experience possible.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, Juan, thank you so much for spending some time with us. Thank you for telling us about yourself, the history of the field house, the rodeo grounds, the Simplot Stadium, the whole thing. So thanks so much for just letting us know what's coming up to you and just how things operate here.
Yeah, no, and I'd just like to mention that we got the event coming up. The Caldwell Holiday Bazaar is a great local crafters coming in November 10 and 11th. Nice event for everybody, all ages, kids, and enjoy it, and everybody. It's a family event, and by the city, and it's a huge, very, very huge event, and very good experience for a lot of people.
Great. Well, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay.